There's nobody helping these kids build mindsets to where they don't need guns. They could be in school, learning something, getting an education, going to, they don't even gotta go to college, they go to trade school to get a trade. There's nobody building these mindsets, so everybody just wants a gun. They found a way to get a gun, and it's just easy at this point.
And so somebody can be like, hey, if you go kill this man for me, I'll give you 5K right now. What they gonna do? They gonna go find that man and kill him. Straight for him and get that money. They want money. They want the power. They want to be seen. But they don't want to be seen in a good way. They want to be seen as, oh yeah, I'm a killer, da da da, stuff like that.
So how do we, when you say that they want to be seen, not in a good way, but in a bad way, what do you think has put in their head that, being seen in a bad way is better than being seen any other way that they could be seen?
They don't want to be seen as weak. Or they don't want to be seen as, oh yeah, I'm not like him, I'll actually do it, or I'm actually about it. Like, they don't want to be seen as getting good grades and taking out the trash, stuff like that. They don't have that. They have let's say the older brother is going the same direction as they're going, so of course he's gonna look up to his older brother and do the same thing. Be a few steps right behind him.
And going on top of that, you could also parents might keep guns for their protection. Like they have a license to carry a gun, and a kid might see their parents where they put their gun at, and they might go get it. And also they might just be afraid because they might be scared of somebody, and maybe somebody has threatened them, and then they felt the need to go get the parent's gun and go handle it themselves instead of talking to an adult about it.
They just,
Nope.
they just live in the moment, like they want that spark in that moment, but they never think of, it's one of the 7 habits of highly effective people. Since I'm in law, this is something that I learned. You gotta begin with the end in mind. So what would this end, what would you end up with doing these things? So your consequences, you going in these games, it's 2 things, dead or in jail. Once you find the mindset to nah bro, I ain't gonna go there. I know it ain't safe. Nah, I ain't gonna pick up his gun, I ain't gonna go kill him. There's no point. Once you find that mindset, you're gonna go farther than that person that wanna go kill that person because you got that better mindset. It's all about your mindset, it's all about your thinking process.
That's really good. And so how do we do that? How do we change the mindset? Because a gun in your hand is gonna be different than a gun in somebody's hand that doesn't look like you, right? So when we think historically about guns and access to guns and the laws that are in place for certain people to have guns, what needs to happen to help our young people understand and see how the system is setting them up?
All right, so I feel like there need to be some type of organization or program like that, like anybody that ever been in jail for these reasons. I feel like we need to start a program for our youth to go talk to them and see what's going on with the real system and how what the outcome of their actions will be.
They need somebody to look up to. Somebody positive, like somebody that looks just like them. Yeah, somebody that they can talk to when they think about going the wrong direction. Somebody that can actually tell them and be like, no, don't go this direction. Actually turn around and go the right direction.
Like my cousin, he takes kids that don't have a father figure in their life, or they just want an adult that they really look up to. He takes them, he teaches them lessons, takes them out to eat, plays games with them, like that's your real family. He helps them get through their mental problems, and I feel like it probably helps them a lot because they type of kids that go to like what people consider bad schools, and they don't know what to do. They don't know what's right and what's wrong, and that's what my cousin does. He teaches them what is right and what's wrong.
It's just like DNT. It's just deeper than music. Just because with the rhythm prodigies, that's just the outside. On the inside, they build bond with us, show us right from wrong. Just it's big. It's bigger than music. Like everybody just think we're on the stage, just going to do music and shows and just having fun, but it's way deeper than that. They help us with mental health. They just give us a lot of opportunities that's bigger than music.
And I'm so glad you said that, because we find that we get in spaces and people just want to see a performance, right? And what T and Irene are doing is very important, because not only are you guys performing, you are writing, you're creating, you're learning history, you're learning how to move throughout these systems, right? So what I am hearing is that we need more adults to sit back and listen to our kids. Intentionally, right? Intentionally listen, right? And I am now going to open up this time for questions in the audience. I don't want to be the only person, asking the questions. And even though these are some of the questions that the students have come up with, but is there anybody in the audience that has any questions?
Thank you. Hello, congratulations on the release of your video.
Thank you.
So my name is Christian Lucas. I am the writer and producer of a play entitled The Black Boy Narrative, where I'm going around Louisville and I'm asking boys, particularly Black boys, just their thoughts and opinions. Just like you said, I don't think adults listen enough. So I want to take this opportunity to particularly or specifically ask Mr. McMillan and Mr. Johnson, what do you think, as a Black young man, what do you think you need from adults? Like, what can we give you that we're not giving you?
I feel like just sit and listen, and I take things out of proportion. Like, a lot of kids will come to their parents and probably talk to them about something that's going on, and their parents will yell at them or like take things way bigger than what they expected. Like, they came to you pouring their heart out, trying to ask for your opinion, and you're over here yelling and doing all of this, and it's just in their mind they're like, I'm not gonna come to you no more. I don't feel like you would. I feel like you will do punishment instead of helping me more. So probably just sit and listen and not take things out of proportion.
We need better bonds, and we just need listening ears. Sometimes, like, it's not all about, because a lot of parents put their, like, they'll be like, I already been through it, why would you do that? But we need you to be able to understand why we did it. It's not just what we did, it's why, it's a reason behind it.
Hello, my name is Pamela Dixon, and I'm a teacher at a wonderful school here in Jefferson County. And I teach math, and I had the opportunity, I think it was last week, in my class, instead of starting the class with math, I decided I was going to talk to my students. And it just so happens this class is all African American young men, same age you all are. And I asked one of them about a career. What do you want to do for your career? And he said to me, I don't expect to make it until I'm 21. And that shocked me. So I looked at the rest of the young men and I said, what do you think about this? Each one of those young men agreed with him. I didn't know what to say. I was shocked. These are smart young men. When I teach a math concept, they get it, and if they don't mind me teaching it over again to them. But I need help on how to talk to my young men that tell me they are not going to make it until 21 years of age.
I'm sorry for that. I'm sorry for them having that, like, that's what goes on. But there is a lot of death at young ages, just like the young man that got murdered on the bus stop. So it's hard to even vision yourself past a certain age because of what goes on so much in our community.
Yeah, going about that, the system is just messed up. How the laws are set, they're specifically to try to put Black people in jail, and it's either do or die when it usually comes down to the hood. So you either do it or you die, and if you do it, you go to jail.
And when you look at situations like Breonna Taylor, David McAtee, Ahmaud Arbery, it's hard to even vision yourself. Like, how are we supposed to call the police when we need help, but those are the same people that we are getting killed at.
And then, going off of what Keyshawn said, with specifically African Americans, if we can't trust the police, we don't go to police, we handle it ourselves, and that's what they want us to do. If we don't come to police, if we go to the police, they're not gonna be there. It's in our mind. They don't care about us. So what we do, we take matters into our own hands and just handle it.
Yes, welcome. I'm glad to be here. I was invited and I like what I'm here. So my name is Mo Ali from Richmond, Philadelphia. I have an organization here called Safe Key Reboot Program, dealing with young men and women, young ladies from 8 to 18. So mental health, you guys are on the right target, mental health. And if it's anything that my organization can do, I'd like to talk with you guys. We're in development right now as we speak. We're like 35% completed. And it's at 4208 Bishop Lane. With regards to guns, we definitely gotta, take our streets, back in control of things. These guns are just not falling in our neighborhoods and things like that there. So it's definitely a conspiracy. And us as African Americans, we definitely need to keep our eyes open. And even with young ladies, knowing, what to do, what not to do. So just applaud yourself, and I'll be willing to talk to anybody after the program's over.
Thanks for that, Albert.
Congratulations, y'all are doing great things. I'm
Thank you.
Thank you.
community activists. But I want to ask, particularly the principal, in regards to a lot of things that's happening in the home or in the street, it spills over into the into the schools. And you'll find students being suspended. With that being said, how are they dealing with that? I understand that it's protocol and, you have to go through the motions as far as some get suspended, some get to go to alternative schools. But dealing what brought that on as far as working with students when they bring that, get them involved with an organization, meet them where they are in regards to that. And then we're talking about the men, but a lot of young girls are being initiated into gangs, they're being raped, so a lot of things are undercover and is not being talked about. As far as you young people, how do you feel about SROs coming into your school? Do you think it's necessary to have police force or some other type of mechanism as far as dealing with what's going on in the schools? So I asked them 3 questions.
Yes, ma'am, you did. And we're gonna unpack them. I think the first question that you asked is, as a building leader, and we have some other leaders in the house, I see you, yes. And so I think we can all attest that as leaders, we have to be very, very intentional, okay? And what I mean by intentional is that the one thing that I have, and Keyshawn's probably over here like, oh Lord, here she goes. I've been very, very intentional about is that we have a restorative approach, okay? Not everything is from a punitive lens, okay? So for example, Keyshawn, I know he loves this. So if I have a young lady or a young man that comes to school out of dress code, well, technically that's supposed to be punitive. But at Central High School, I foster the culture that how can we fix it? Because I understand that there are layers to this. Like the kids say there's levels to this. It's layers to this. And in some cases, when I start rolling back the layers, I didn't get to go wash my clothes, Dr. Compton. And it was better for me to be out of compliance and be here than in compliance and maybe ridiculed by peers because my appearance is not kept. So all the young ladies know in my office, Dr. Compton has hair supplies on deck because I'm a firm believer, if our hair ain't right, we ain't right. We show out. So we have to have that restorative approach, right? And this is the thing that we have to give. We have to give educators grace. Okay? We have to give them grace. Not everybody came from a story. Not everybody has heard a story. And so we have to understand that the same level of grace that we want people to give us, That we have to give educators that grace. I tell our students all the time, and I tell Keyshawn, what do I say? I won't always get it right, but it's from my heart. This ain't hard work. This is heart work. And so that's the restorative approach that many educators are taking in their building. I know I can speak specifically to mine. We try to fix it. We try to address it. We coach it. We nurture it. We water it. We grow it. And guess what? Sometimes if we still can't get it right, he'll let you know. Yeah, I'm like mama. I'm going to give you 1 shot. I'm going to give you 2. But on 3, there comes consequences because I know out there they have consequences. So I have to prepare you for that too. And so it is truly a restorative approach that we take in really surrounding our kids when it comes to things from the outside, trickling out on the inside. We just have to roll back the layers. And guess what? I only get 187 days to do it. So what does that mean? I need partners. I need partners. It's just like football has an off season, but what are they doing in the off season? They're still training. And so I say to parents all the time, hey, my season is 187 days, but I need you to help me in the off season. It's a 365 model. And so we need that wraparound services. Wraparound services just ain't about what JCPS provides. Let's be real. Wraparound services is the church, the community, the neighborhood barber, the hairdresser, all of that. That's wraparound services. The work that Seychelles doing with the Hope Bus, that's wraparound services. We need all of that. The work of Nari and T, that's wraparound services. And so we ask grace, and we ask for you to partner with us. I'm going to turn it over because I love when this conversation is from the voice of the students when we talk about school resource officers. But before we can address it, let's go back to the original history of why there were ever a need for school resource officers. Once upon a time, I like to open up like I'm telling a children's story. Once upon a time, resource officers were not to police the inside of the building. They were there to keep the outside influences from entering on the inside. Somewhere along the story, it changed. And school resource officers were then viewed as these people that police the inside of the building. So, before we can even get to is there a need, we have to really address the true purpose of what they were intended to do. So you have to be a historian of this work, okay? So we can't go to board meetings and talk about what we don't need or what we won't. We have to be historians of the work. So then when we go to the board meeting and we say, Madam Chair, Dr. Polio, there may be a need, but the purpose needs to shift. Understand the purpose, and that the purpose somewhere along the line shifted. And so I love to give that history for those who may not know the history and the true meaning of why there was ever school resource officers. They were meant to be partners. They were meant to be the same police officers you see TikToking with the students playing basketball. They were meant to be a friend, a collaborative partner with educators that were ensuring that when the kids crossed Central High School at 7:40, 7:39, because you can't be tardy, that they were the ones standing at the door saying, come on, Keyshawn, you know Dr. Compton be tripping when you late, come on, get in here. That was the true intention of this. And so I can't speak to how and when it changed, but I'm a person that likes to approach things from what is the history. What was the true intended purpose when this first started back in the 80s? And then understand, is there a need for it now as we look at 2022?
I'm sorry, before we move on, I do want, there's a leader in the audience that is the principal of Minor Daniel Academy. I really would like to hear from her because I just find it very fascinating that when we open up schools like the Du Bois School or Grace James Academy of Excellence, we get a lot of complaints Like, why is that school this? Why is that? But no one wants to recognize that there's brilliance even in Minor Daniel Academy of Excellence, right? And those students as well have a lot to say, but they're not complaining about a school like that because in their mind, they have pushed them to the side. Well, we don't need to push them to the side.
So good afternoon, I'm Stephanie Bart, I am the principal of Notre Dame's Academy. And so, alternative school is hard work, and it is, intentional work. And so, I have some great people who are part of my team who are here today, who are part of that great intentional work. And so, when I think about alternative school, I think about restoring our students, reclaiming our students, and setting them up for brilliance. Because they are smart, they are intelligent, they know more than we will ever know. And so, like Ms. McCormick said, sometimes those kids are pushed to the side. And so my job as their leader is to restore, to reclaim, and to push them towards excellence.
Thank you, Ms. Barr. So, sorry, I just had to make sure I brought that out because I really don't want people to forget about, those schools in JCPS. They're all our babies. Yes, 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 and yes. Absolutely. And as we're being clear and talking about history, knowing the history, listen, y'all know what they're trying to do with these bills they are passing to not have conversation about history. Yeah. It is going to take every last one of us in this space as a community to fight against those laws that they're trying to pass. Period. And they want to continue for there to be gun violence. They want these things to continue to happen for our babies because they don't care. Let's just be honest. They do not care, but we gotta care. Sorry, Keisha, go ahead.
Back to Ms. Rhonda's question about RSO officers, right? All right, so I feel like there's only certain schools, personally, this is a personal, personal thought, like you said. I feel like there's only certain schools that need them, like Central. I was talking to Coach Dantzler, and he said that we have about 1,300 kids in our school. Within the 1,300, 1,100 of us never been in trouble. Well, 1,100 of the students never been in trouble. Within that small amount that have been in trouble, they only been in trouble once. So I feel like Central do not need one. We have a great security team. There are other schools that do, but JCPS as a whole, if we do put someone in every school, we need somebody that is going to take their time to build bonds and relationships with the students in the school. We need someone that is trusted by the students and not only like everybody in the school as students, adults, administrators, even our principal. We need someone that we can trust with our safety and that we coming in this building every single day. We need someone that we know that is gonna be our superhero when somebody try to enter into our school and take away our safety.
So as y'all know, I go to Iroquois High School. So when everybody hear Iroquois, they think about it as a bad school. It's ghetto, it's dirty, it's trashy. Iroquois High School is actually a really good school, and I'm here to admit it. But I feel like when they want to put those officers in there, it's just going to take our reputation down more than it is already. I'm gonna give credit to Dr. Tall because she is building it up little at a time, and I love Dr. Tall with all my heart. But I feel like at Iroquois, I feel like we shouldn't always be talked about or our reputation get brought down lower because when I do tell somebody I go to Iroquois, they're like, ugh, the dirty eye, you go there. Yes, I go there, and I'm not ashamed to say I actually go to Redwood.
And like Keyshawn said, I feel like we should only have police officers in some schools. Like, I go to the Boys Academy, and one of our counselors there, he's not a police officer, but he likes to think he is around our school. He thinks he's our security. And he tells us every day when we walk in the morning, whenever he comes to our classroom, if anybody ever comes through those doors in intention to harm y'all, I promise you I'm the first person that will be there to block any bullet before it gets to y'all. And he's the type of person, every time we go in the morning, we say, hey, yo, what's up, what's up? Anytime we have a problem personally, we like to go to him because he understands us. And sometimes when we come in sleepy, he might let us stay in his office, get like a 10-minute nap in or something like that. He always has snacks in his office for us. And he always just cares about us. When we act up in the classroom, he comes in there, takes us out in the hallway, gives us a 5-minute speech, and then we back to what we was doing, focusing, locked in on schoolwork. And he doesn't threaten us by like calling our parents, because in a way, he is like our parent when we at school. He looks out for us for the most part. Yeah, he's more of a mentor.
And thank you guys so much. With that being said, that's the important piece, right? Like mentors, SROs, you know, and I agree with the students. All schools don't need an SRO, point blank period. But I will also say those SROs need to be vetted. You need to make sure we have the right SROs in those spaces, because, I mean, that's why community, see, we are so individualistic, okay? Let's just get there for a second. We are too busy being concerned about me. We have too much of a me mentality. We need to get back to a space where we truly build community. And community is what we need right now. We need for each of us to be looking out for everybody's kids, right? Because it's gonna take all of us. You know, we always say take a village. We gotta mean it, right? We gotta absolutely mean it. So I want to thank the Speed Art Museum for this space. I absolutely, most importantly, want to thank these beautiful and brilliant students. It's important that we continue to keep creating space for them to use their voices. So important, they have so much to say. I want to thank.
She's got the mic.
All right.
It was hard to get this mic back. I just want to tell you all, thank you so much. I'm excited to be here. I'm excited about this release. But more importantly, I think that those who are impacted by our issues should be leaders in the decision making. And I want to see how you all feel. I want to have young people a part of my administration and a part of my transition team when I become our next mayor of Louisville. And I didn't say my name is Shamika Parrish Wright because I love the young prodigies and they know that I'm all up in their stuff. Thank you, and thank you, everyone. But I want to have you a part of the decision making. I want to have you having real teeth and power, and also a part of the JCPS school board if they allow that to be so. I think that we have to stop making decisions for you and have you be a part of that. I want to see what you think, that if we have 15 to 20-year-olds as a part of decision making, do you think that would make a difference in the choices you have? And then the last thing is, please name something that brings you joy in this life right now while things are hard.
Well, something that makes me happy is just rocking out on the stage, releasing all my emotions on the stage, and just putting smiles on other people's faces. Because every time, not even being cocky, just being honest. Every time we perform, I see at least 10 people smiling because of our performance. And I feel like I don't want a specific career when I'm older. I just want to put a positive impact on others. So me being able to make people smile with just me having fun and me being who I am, I feel like that's the best thing that I can do.
That's not cocky, that's joy.
Something that makes me happy when it's like hard times is raw wave. No, I'm just playing. It's actually okay. Raw Wave, he is my favorite rapper, singer. I feel like that's my husband forever. And I listen to his music because some of his songs I can actually relate to. So when I'm listening to it, I'm like, oh yeah, I can relate to that. So I'm feeling the music, and he just helps me move. He helps me express myself even when I'm by myself. Also, the YP. I love getting on the stage and interacting with the crowd, especially the little ones. I come to them, I dance with them and everything. And I love seeing people smile. I love making everybody happy. And yeah.
I like that.
Something that makes me happy is playing sports. When I'm down, I like to go outside, get some shots up, and then probably also kicking it with my friends, knowing that even when I'm having a bad day, they having a good day, they always making me laugh, and they always cheer me up, and especially hanging around YP, when I hang around YP and I'm mad, they'll come up to me and like they'll make me laugh, or something funny they'll just do, and they don't even notice that I'm mad, but I start laughing, and then you're right.
Word all in your face.
Yeah, everybody knows when I'm mad, but when they all notice when I'm mad, they do something funny to cheer me up.
What about you, Dr. Compton? What brings you joy?
Oh, man.
Seeing the kids at Central smile.
It does, because I don't think, and I don't want to speak on behalf of the other educators in the room, but I think when we were in college and we were aspiring to be educators, we, they always ask that question, what's your why? What's your why? And I'm like, man, what's the 30-second elevator speech? But really, it's very simplified. It is being able to walk into my job every day and know God only gave me 3 biological, but man, I have like 1,300. And it is an awesome task. It is a ministry. It is a ministry. But that brings me so much joy. And then my support system. I mean, I have an amazing husband, 2 daughters here, one's off at college. And so just watching them live life, just from the loud days to the quiet days to Aaliyah tumbling through the hallway days. I mean, just watching your kids live life. If that doesn't bring you joy, then come holler at me.
Right.
Let's talk.
Thank you. Thank you all for being here. Thank you, YP. Thank you, Nyree. And
the director of the video, Dantana Smith, is here. Can we give him some?
Thank you for, the video was dope. Yes, thank you so much. Dope. Thanks again to Dean Otto, and
Tell everyone that,
I do want to recognize Ms. Bard and Mia Grundy. They allowed me to come to Minor Daniels, and tears rolled down my face. Those students are the ones, along with my students, who came up with these questions. There are some other questions that I feel like need to be talked about. Like, does anyone in here know about the Louisville Shade Room? Parents. See, they know things that I believe we need to have more spaces for kids to talk about that maybe us as adults don't know. And so, Ms. Bard, Mia, thank you so much. And Mia, I don't want to tell her story, but Mia is thebomb.com, but her son was tragically killed. And so now she gives her time and is the parent coordinator at Minor Daniels. So, I mean, we just have to recognize that Minor Daniels and the schools that are in our community need us, and that we need to recognize that there's brilliance at those schools too.
Thank you.
Yeah, so please let us not forget about the schools that are not often talked about. I'm so serious about that. Those schools need our love too. They need our attention. And again, thank you all for being here. And remember, when I say permission to be brilliant, that means that is for you to take up space and challenge the status quo, challenge the system. Use your voice. We need everybody's voice in this space to support these young people, because this is our future. We say that all the time. I believe it. Well, listen, if they are, we need to create space. Yes, and we have to recognize their joy. Everything ain't doom and gloom, right? We gotta create space for joy and happiness for them. So thank you all for being here again. Thank you, T and Irene, and Anna, and Art, and everybody for being here. And most importantly, our beautiful and brilliant young people.
Thank y'all. Thank you.
Thank y'all.
I know some people showed up a little bit late and missed the video, so we're gonna play it one more time too for the folks who weren't able to do that.
Thank y'all again.
Excuse me. So you guys, we just had a wonderful panel discussion with the really young prodigies at the Speed Museum, and they're going to once again show the video "Danger," which was written by Tyree Smith was killed at the bus stop.
Where I grew up, now I wanna be gangsters. Where I grew up, now I wanna be bangers. Where I grew up, now I wanna be slangers. Danger. Where I grew up, now I wanna be killers. Where I grew up, now I wanna be dealers. Where I grew up, now I wanna be stillers. Be real. How you 14, what you going to be? Always 16, what you going to see? Some stories, what you going to be? Y'all play in the street, but you not how to keep. Pulling up guns, y'all probably can tell. Baby girl, you get a taste, I'll see. Stop the big talk before that's your feet. Back with you, how you see. Grew up in the West End, Georgia, when we flex. Our boy carry guns, wonder why we got them on. Now it's for income. This is America on the slum. Drop back like Trump. Where I grew up, now I wanna be gangsters. Where I grew up, now I wanna be bangers. Where I grew up, now I wanna be slangers. Danger. Where I grew up, now I wanna be killers. Where I grew up, now I wanna be dealers. Where I grew up, now I wanna be stillers. Be real. Everybody wanna be killer. What does that make y'all talk about bigger? Everybody wanna be killer. Y'all talk we can go pull on a trigger. They wanna stop with a finger to your blood. Got no connection. Y'all need to stay out the street while you packing and you ain't got no protection. But if you got it for real, you just a kid, so I got it for real. You a gangster without it for real? Not just a punk and fire for real, trying to it for real. You know you're real, but I keep it real and that's what's in the field. Then when you get next, we call red now, all in the blood is the right. I sound it for real, bang. At night when we sleep, all we hear is bang, bang. Baby rolling deep in the streets, bang, bang. Young body's fine, mama's crying, bang, bang. And we just wanna sleep tonight. I didn't wanna be gangster, bro, I had to. Had to start stealing from my family, we ain't had to. One from, it's like 9 of us to one bathroom. Taking out my anger on my teachers in the classroom. Brothers out here getting arrested just for selling dimes. Now they in the prison cell and they doing prison time. Officer, please listen to me, I know that he did the crime, but this is all the life we know that we were given to survive. Everybody wanna be a top of the rap, so I'ma speak the word like Apple. Hey, still in the unsaid, this is reality, so all think it reality. Y'all tell us all the wrong thing. This is why all of my mental events, where I grew up, and that's what we, but they don't all make it fly on the flex. Where I grew up, now I wanna be gangsters. Where I grew up, now I wanna be bangers. Where I grew up, now I wanna be slangers. Danger. Where I grew up, now I wanna be killers. Where I grew up, now I wanna be dealers. Where I grew up, now I wanna be stillers. Be real. How did you wanna be a kid? Yeah, I'm doing kind of like the kids, bro. Danger.
We are having a silent auction. We have a basket right here of YP goodies. I want it. And we are having a silent auction. So if you would
On your way
like
out.
to donate anything. Oh, okay, I'm sorry. We are having a silent auction. We have some of our YP gear that we are raising money. Some of it is for Keyshawn Johnson. So we welcome your donations. Silent auction. Thank you so much.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful job. That was great. Hi. All right, you guys, look for the Real Young Prodigies. It's Prodigy with an apostrophe S. It's spelled uniquely so that you can find it. The Real Young Prodigies. And it's an absolutely amazing, amazing turnout. Riot Heart's here, in case you didn't notice. What a great opportunity. The Real Young Prodigies dropping their new video, Danger, which was basically thought of after Tyree Smith was killed at the bus stop a few months ago. And they've been working on this video. It's a professionally produced, extraordinarily powerful piece. And it's worth looking up. So take a look at the back side of that live stream so you can see the video again. Thank you guys so much for joining us. We really appreciate you. Have a wonderful rest of your Sunday. And just support the Real Young Prodigies. They definitely deserve your support. Keyshawn, there's his grandmother, Nana Harrison. Keyshawn was shorter than Nana when he came to the square 2 years ago. Look at him now. It's really amazing. All right, you guys. So have a wonderful day. Enjoy yourselves. I'm going to flip the camera here for just a second so I can kind of just give you a quick summary, if you don't mind. So you can see from the background, a great crowd showed up at Speed today. An amazing group of folks came and supported the Real Young Prodigies as they gave their opinions on a dozen or more questions that were asked in a short hours period of time. And they really did a great job. The kids representing got up and spoke. There were several educators involved, which really made it fascinating too. So the Real Young Prodigies, which is Prodigy apostrophe S, spelled uniquely so you can find it on all social media platforms, have done an outstanding job, especially in their newly produced video, Danger, which was conceived of and created in the aftermath of Tyree Smith's shooting at the bus stop this last fall. So really, really appreciate and are grateful for the fact that the kids have engaged so much in their community and are constantly working in their performances to bring positive music, positive fun, and good example to kids their age, which is what the whole concept is having role models to look up to and being role models for those who are younger than those kids. So support the Real Young Prodigies. We appreciate you guys. Thanks to Teammate, Antonio Teammate Taylor, an original 502 live streamer, his beautiful wife, Tyree Clayton Taylor. They're the directors of the Real Young Prodigies. And just always good to see a great turnout like this. Just absolutely phenomenal. All right, you guys have a good rest of the Sunday. We'll see you.